All set, Mike? Okay, we might as well get our work session open, and I'll begin by welcoming Captain Andy Spire from Lancaster Police Department. You're going to be our guardian from now on? Yep. Protect the mayor first. Okay, we'll run through the agenda.
Thank you for being here. Thank you.
We'll run through the agenda. Any issues with, we had two sets of meetings tonight, June 15th and June 22nd. Any issues, comments? Abstract audit and vouchers, any?
We just have the one that we need to do a
Resolution, yeah, for the
LVAC.
LVAC services, 4th of July. So I'll do resolution during the meeting to
Okay.
fund that. Yep.
Sounds good. Listed correspondence, we have 4 pieces this evening. First is from the Town of Lancaster Building Department, providing a report of building permits, applications, open complaints, and inspections, and expired permits that were filed for properties within the Village of Lancaster from June 12th to June 30th, 2026. And we have correspondence from Craig D. Weiss, 566 Center Road, West Seneca, providing information regarding the history and current conditions of property at 81 4th Avenue. Matt, where do we stand with 81 4th Avenue? I don't think this would have much to do with it, but...
Well, it was a good point of information. I had a discussion with the individual on Thursday. That prompted me to do another inspection on site. The grass is cut. I did find a couple of bad trees in the backyard, but I'm not sure if that's on that property. So my intent was to speak with M&T Bank, to make notification, maybe get somebody on site to deal with the dead branches and things of that nature. But overall, it's just a boarded up house. It's sitting idle at this point. I would imagine until they can close and state or do a formal transfer of the deed for them to put it on the market. But I can inquire with the bank and then report back to the board.
Okay, that sounds good. Excuse me. Correspondence from Lancaster Depew Alma Chamber of Commerce, providing a special events application for its 12th annual Lancaster Village Wine Walk to be held on September 12th, 2026 in the Central Business District. Comments, questions with that? And last is correspondence from New York State Department of Environmental Conservation, providing a reminder of the Advanced Clean Trucks, ACT, one-time fleet reporting requirement for municipal government agencies.
Should we, Wayne, did you see that? And should we, because there's a one-time reporting requirement here. I'm not sure who would do it.
The way I interpreted it, it would probably come from the DPW, but I don't know. Wayne, do you know anything about it?
This may be a you thing.
I think that Caitlin was looking into that one.
Yeah.
I did remember
So
her
refer to
saying.
be, yeah, okay.
All right. Anything else on that? Now we'll go into resolutions. We have several this evening. Motion to approve the following updated resolution for the local match commitment related to the New York State EFC Engineering Planning Grant. Get resolved that the Board of Trustees of the Village of Lancaster hereby authorizes and appropriates a minimum of 20% local match as required by the Engineering Planning Grant Program for the Mini Systems 2, 3, and 6 Infiltration and Inflow Improvement Study Project. Under the Engineering Planning Grant Program, this local match must be at least 20% of the grant award of $100,000. The Village of Lancaster also commits to covering any additional costs in excess of the estimated project cost with funds available in assigned fund balance in the sewer fund. The total estimated project cost is $249,600 per the executed engineering agreement. The minimum local share appropriated subject to any changes agreed to by the mayor and village board is $149,600, which shall be allocated from the assigned fund balance in the sewer fund.
Yeah, that's because from what I understand, the estimate came in quite a bit higher than we originally had expected. So it's just accounting for those extra funds that will have to go towards that project.
Yep. Second resolution would be to approve the following resolution to authorize a grant application and local match commitment for a zoning update project. And be resolved that the Board of Trustees of the Village of Lancaster hereby approves and endorses the application to the New York State Department of State for funding under the 2026 Community Planning Program for the Village of Lancaster Zoning Update Project, and further to commit village funds in the amount of 15% of the eligible project costs as the local share of this project as required by the request for applications. The Village of Lancaster also commits to funding the total share 100% of any excess cost above and beyond the approved project budget, including village personnel in support of project management and administration.
And that's just for the zoning grant that I've been working on, which is the next step after our comp plan, essentially, so. yeah, And that's in the works.
All right, any comments, questions with that? If not, we'll, resolution to authorize the opening of the Cayuga Creek Park Terrace stairs following the completion of safety measures to be implemented by the Department of Public Works.
So Wayne and I met out at, and Tammy too, we met at the terrace a few weeks ago, and Wayne kind of showed the proposal for opening up the stairs. Essentially, what the DPW will be doing is applying some of the epoxy, similar to what we have in the meeting room over there, to the first 8 inches of each step to provide that color differentiation when you're going up or down the stairs. So if you have visual impairments, or if it's dark out, like dusk or whatever, you're still able to see where the step ends and the ground, like the drop is. That was the biggest concern, I think, with these steps, is that they kind of all blend together when you're going down them. Once that is done, we can, the resolution is to authorize opening them back up to public use.
Wayne, thank you for getting that taken care of.
Yeah, it's no problem. It's just, we're trying to do the same colors as the mural. That was our goal, is to make it look, so it looked nice going up. So we're waiting for the resolution to take care of that, and then we will have our guys take care of it, grind it down, and then we can put it on.
Very good.
Okay.
My fourth resolution is authorizing myself as mayor to sign and execute a renewal agreement with the CSEA Employee Benefit Fund to provide dental and vision coverage to covered employees for the effective period from June 1st, 2026 through May 31st, 2029. Fifth resolution is to approve change order number 1 for the Cayuga Creek Park Level 3 EV charging station project to reduce the amount of the contingency allowance in the contract from $5,000 to $0, resulting from a final contract price of $73,500. Next page, last resolution is authorizing myself as mayor to sign and execute an agreement with Miller Construction Services Incorporated, DBA Scott Lawn Yard, for contractor services related to the Lancaster Pocket Park project with a total contract price of $295,800. Good there, and then we will go on to committee reports, and find some claims.
I have nothing.
Nothing, okay. Public Works, Chairman Mickley.
Nothing tonight.
All right, Public Safety. I believe that the Clark Street parking lot ADA crosswalk is beginning to start to take shape in the planning stages. I met with County Legislator Frank Tadaro, who is making that possible, and we'll keep you posted as it starts to progress. Again, it won't happen overnight, but it'll be nice when it's done. And that's all I have for public safety. Building lights and codes.
Not much. I had, last week, regarding the historic street signs, last week I sent a request and a package with as much information as I could get together to the DOT, and received a response actually this weekend, asking a few questions, but far from anything reportable, I guess. Well, far from any type of answer. So I'm not sure how many more questions we'll have, but that's it.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Human Resources?
I have nothing this evening.
All right. Community Events?
Most of the comments I can save for the meeting, but obviously the 4th of July and how everything went with that. I am meeting Captain Spire tomorrow morning, along with the lieutenant that was working, and any comments from Fire Department, LVAC, anything like that, feedback for what we can do differently next year, change things and whatnot. But pretty happy to report, and I believe, Captain, maybe if you could verify, there weren't maybe a first aid or two over the 3-day weekend. I don't believe there was anything from that. So I think overall it was a success, few things to learn, again, change and modify for next year, but I think we did pretty well. Other than the 4th of July stuff, coming up, you have Porch Fest. Applications close this week, Friday,
Right.
correct? Ren Fair coming up, and I'd like to approve the Village Wine Walk this evening as well.
Okay?
Oh, I'm sorry, 2 more coming up as well. The Garden Walk this weekend, along with the rescheduled rain date from the car show, Sunday from 9 until 1.
Busy weekend.
That's all I
Sure, an observation on the Wine Walk, may I?
I'm sorry, what's
The
that?
Wine Walk, May I
Yeah.
share an observation on it?
Sure.
Thank you. The application, it says that, will food trucks be part of the event? If so, and an exception to any regulations set forth at 2098 of the village code will be requested of the village code enforcement officer, identified by section number of each regulation for which an exception will be requested. So we have like a page of regulations relating to vendors. For example, at all times, mobile food vendors must abide by all applicable federal, state, and local statutes and ordinances. And they say that there's going to be an application for exemptions from some provisions of 2098. But all they say, if you look at the application, it says, yeah, and there's going to be 2 or 3 providers, but as to all of the regulations that are set forth, they don't identify what type of exception is going to be requested. Now, I'm not saying what bearing that should have on the decision tonight, but I thought I had an obligation to bring that to your attention.
Thank you, Art. Well, we'll have to review the application and see where they actually stand to.
I don't have anything else on there.
For community events, I have nothing else.
Okay, economic development. I have nothing on economic development this evening. Sewer, Chairman Mikely.
We have our quarterly sewer committee meeting is July 30th. We had to reschedule twice. I was supposed to be this week, and I had to reschedule. And sewer committee meeting is July 30th. And then also, this is a time of year where we next month, we'll meet with the DEC for our annual reporting with the DEC. And Watts is setting that up, and we'll have reporting done in time for that. So we'll probably have a date next meeting. So I have
Anything for Chairman Mikely? Grants, Chairman O'Brien.
Couple of things, most of it I'll go over during the meeting, but a few things I wanted to touch on now. One thing, I had a conversation with Chief Gummo about the Clark Street parking lot. Back when we first started the culvert project, we had asked the police to suspend enforcement of the overnight no parking regulations. And it occurred to me that we never authorized them to begin enforcing it. So I reached out to the chief to see if that had just happened, because I couldn't remember if we phrased it as for the duration of the construction work, or if we left it open. He said to his knowledge, they've not been enforcing it. So I think we would probably do a resolution tonight to authorize the police to again enforce the no overnight parking regulations in the Clark Street parking lot, unless someone has a problem with that. But I don't know if people have been parking overnight there or not. And second thing that I wanted to bring up now is, so the Pocket Park will start construction. It was supposed to start this month, but the Miller asked to wait until the middle of August, which is fine. Department of State had asked me if we were going to do a groundbreaking ceremony for it. I think that's a good idea, because it is, at this point, the village is, like, our municipality is only New York Forward project. So I would like to, if it works for everybody's calendar, put a groundbreaking on the calendar for 10 a.m. on the 7th of August. I checked with Labella if they, they're available if they need to be there. I think it'll be small. It'll be, DPW can put out some piles of dirt. We can bring out the gold shovels, and I'll do a press release to the B and whoever else I can think of, and then ask Department of State if they want to provide like some quotes for it. I think a bigger deal will be the ribbon cutting when that happens, probably later in the year or beginning of next year. But I think it'd just be nice to kick off the project with a bit of some pictures, a ceremony. Just want to give everyone a heads up that that's in the works. And that's it for grants for now.
Okay, take a marketing, Chairman Miller.
Nothing to report.
All right. Climate Smart, Chairman O'Brien.
I can wait till the actual meeting. I'm good. I have a few things, but they can wait.
Any department heads? Wayne?
Just a little bit for the sewers. We started smoke testing for mini system 5 this week, and early last week, so we started that, and in the next couple of weeks, the Pleasant Avenue project's supposed to be starting. So we'll try to make sure it stays open, but there might be 4 to 6 hours at certain times where that's gonna be closed. So we'll let everybody know when we get to that point.
Okay, very good. Anything for the superintendent? Just like to say your crews did a fantastic job over the 4th of July. I mean, there's a million and one things that get done, and they all have to be done 10 minutes ago. and
Yep.
Somehow we pull it off, so they did a great job.
Well, thanks. Absolutely.
Clerk Treasurer Mike Stegmeyer,
Nothing right now.
Code Enforcement, Matt?
Sure, if you like, I can provide the statistics for the first half of the year, as of June 30th. That'd be appropriate. You made mention of it, but in total for the village, we had 178 building permits issued, 194 complaints, and 30 fire safety and property maintenance inspections. 6 food trucks inspections, and we now have 18 known vacant, unoccupied, abandoned buildings that we're monitoring on a regular basis. So again, I just wanted to respond to the query from last meeting. Seems like it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Those are from January 1st to June 30th.
Very busy. Anything for Matt? Hey, Chief?
No, just bring up the calls and drills halfway through the year, training hours, and busy 4th of July.
Captain Spire, welcome again.
Thank you, appreciate it. Nothing to report. All right.
Sounds good. Art?
One other thing, thank you. A while ago, Matt and Mike spoke to me about what I thought were valid concerns about the process for getting dumpster permits. Seemed not completely structured and in some ways open-ended. So in response to their concerns, I proposed some revisions to that chapter, and those revisions are in the packet this evening. So that's something the board may wish to consider, or maybe Matt or Mike would want to speak on it. And with that, I have nothing further.
I was going to ask the question tonight, actually, what brought that about?
Well, okay. I'll do the best I can to answer, but one is, I think Mike was concerned that these permits were for 1 year, and it suggested there was going to be a flood of reapplications on an annual basis that would really tax his office. Mike can speak further on that. And secondly, if I correctly understand it, we submit an application, and the issue is unstructured. Who reviews the application and who permits it? Okay, now here's my application, here's my fee, it's received by the clerk's office. Okay, well now, what happens after that? So I suggested that we add a section called D, which would put it in the hands of the village board to review the application, and comments. There are going to be comments from the department heads with the application, and then they would either stay approval pending further information, approve conditionally approve, or deny the application, so that there's an end to the process, rather than just saying, here's my application, here's my money, have a nice day, goodbye. So I thought their concerns were valid ones. I think Mike's concern about being besieged annually with all these different permit applications was valid. So I proposed some minor adjustments to that particular 2 sections, 3 and 4 of Chapter 126, that I thought addressed their concerns.
So it seems to be that, as of now, and I didn't know this beforehand, because I had never read this, but as of now, if it's in the right-of-way, they have to get approval from the fire chief and village board, DPW superintendent. And you're proposing that we take out the the portion about it being in the right of way, so that every dumpster application would have to come through and get fire chief and DPW and village board approval. And that just seems to me like it's adding a lot of time from a user, from someone who needs this thing. That's probably gonna be easily 3 to 4 week process.
Well, here's, you get the application. The clerk provides the application. It's pretty much the same process as we do with these special event applications. The clerk gets the application, sends them to the department heads. Now, as far as you're concerned about the time, all these department heads, they have to have their say within 10 days, okay? And if they don't have their say within 10 days, then it's assumed they have no objection. So that really doesn't bother the department heads. Oh, I don't care about this, put it aside, it's no big deal. And then, it then provides that, after the 10-day, this is at D, after the 10-day comment period expires, by the next regularly scheduled village board meeting, the board has to take the issue up. So usually the board meets every other week. So if somebody puts in an application, the application is passed along to all the department heads. They have 10 days. We still haven't gotten to that 2-week period. So the 10 days expires, and it's like at the very next board meeting, the board's gonna be asked to address this issue.
Does this include dumpsters, like if somebody's doing construction? and you do dumpster in the
No,
driveway?
the dumpsters are defined in 126. Let me see what it says there. I'll go back.
So if you don't mind me chiming in, and, you know, I would prefer that, you know, this gets discussed in committee to understand the reasoning behind. This has been on the books for a long, long time. And it may have been one that was left on the books even after the village contracted with the town for municipal waste. This was intended to provide permitting for commercial properties that migrated to the municipal waste program that got bid out, and it just turned into what it is today. There's still some open questions about commercial locations of dumpsters, where they should be, whose responsibility is for the maintenance and, you know, and the upkeep of those dumpster facilities. So this all started with an enforcement action. We had a complaint by some residents. It was a commercial entity that had an improper maintained dumpster, and come to find out, we're reading through the code, that, you know, these commercial dumpsters require permitting by the village, commercial dumpsters. And that's where it all started. So we directed the property owner to go get a dumpster permit, and again, began the discussion, how does it happen? And it's right, you know, the clerk's office is gonna get inundated with these, if we do a full-on audit of the village, of all the commercial properties that have dumpsters. You make a notification, you need to get a permit. So again, I'd like to have discussion between all the departments that are gonna be affected by this, how to enforce it, or if the village chooses, abolish it.
Right, and that's like, I think we've issued one dumpster permit in the past 10 years, 5 years. And then if we're gonna start getting a number of dumpster permit applications, then my question was like, well, how do I determine if I should issue the permit? Is my office qualified to review that application and say, oh yes, this is appropriate? I didn't feel that that would be up to us to determine, so it would have to go through other departments to determine, is the dumpster being placed where it should be and all these other things. So that's kind of where that came from.
And is there any difference here between a dumpster that's being picked up by Waste Management every week and the temporary dumpster that's in someone's driveway because they're doing construction?
Yes.
So-
There's a difference.
The temporary one doesn't
Right.
have to go through all
We
this,
issued a
right?
temporary permit that's associated with a project or unit clean out, or whatever the case may be. You know, we'll issue it on a temporary basis and just ensure that it's not placed in the right way.
Yeah, that would be the only time it would come to the village, is if they want to put it on the street or something.
Here's the definition. Would we have to adjust the definition? Because in response to John's question, I don't know. Dumpster, a bulk storage, it's at 126.2. A bulk storage container for garbage and other waste materials that can be hauled directly to a point of disposal or emptied into a large compactor-type truck or other conveyance for disposal. So I'm not, you got your feet on the ground on this, you have the boots on, when I read this, I don't see a distinction between construction dumpsters and other types of commercial dumpsters. So we might have to tweak the definition. I don't know.
Yeah, and I know that I've researched the topic a little bit deeper earlier on in my career here, because, you know, how do we issue them? And the code clearly says the clerk's office issues, but I mean, again, these are temporary units for cleanouts, and, you know, it's a bulk removal on a one-time basis, as opposed to a commercial entity that has a facility on site that's being serviced by a licensed and registered service provider. And again, it's
Yeah.
just, it just may be an old archaic code, or it may need to be something that's further defined for policy.
Do you think that the distinction that you raise is maintained by the definition that I read? Does the definition accommodate two types of dumpsters?
I don't believe that definition does.
All right, so we might have to revise that too, if that's what the board wants. The board may say, yeah, let's treat all dumpsters the same. So, you know, we'd have to focus on that as well.
So you want to just refer it to me tonight? Because the first I heard of it was our last meeting, I happened to go over here.
It came right after, it was right after the last
Yeah, it was
meeting.
right after the last meeting, and it was in response to, like I said, it was an enforcement action. We tried to service the property owner appropriately and timely.
You'd have to ask yourself, if there's somebody's doing construction, and there is construction work, do we want to have some sort of different criteria applied to that? Or should the same criteria apply to all these dumpsters,
I think it
considering
should
what the
be-
risks are?
Right, I think it should be different.
Okay.
I do. I don't think somebody should have to hold up
No.
3 to 4 weeks doing construction
And those are trailer
for
dumpsters.
village board approval.
When you're doing construction, usually trailer dumpsters that get brought to, they don't go into a compacted truck. That's more of the closed dumpsters like we have in our parking lot over here.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I didn't hear
Matt?
everything you said, so.
Matt, if you consider them all the same, though, does that give your office, like, is there anybody completing work that doesn't necessarily get a permit? Like, would that clue your office in, like, if all the dumpsters are considered the same, they come in for a permit for a dumpster, would that, like, clue your office in if somebody's doing something they maybe shouldn't be or whatever?
As it's related to a construction project?
Yeah,
Or, I mean,
either way.
that's usually an indicator that somebody's doing construction work, right? The dumpster shows up in a driveway, it's pulling crap off.
Yeah.
But the difference in here, again, is a dumpster for that effect, which falls under that temporary category, or the Yelling Goat, that has a facility on site all year long, servicing that
Taking
property
care of it.
forever. I mean, I think it's a different classification. There's a different standard, because you're going to have, you know, in some few cases, of course, planning board review and recommendations, things of that nature. But we're talking about a lot of already existing facilities, and when you drive around the village, you can see some dumpsters really shouldn't be in those spaces,
In there.
because just servicing them blocks the flow of traffic, pedestrian traffic. You know, it's a safety problem.
Okay, so you, Matt, and I know we're running out of time, but you think that in terms of construction dumpsters, we've got things under control?
As far as that is concerned, yes.
Okay, well then, what we'll do then is maybe we'll tweak the definition among the other things, and maybe John will want to put it in committee or something, and we'll go from there.
Have the discussion. Thank you.
Okay, we've got about a minute.